everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. I just wanted to do something a little fun, so I shopped my stash and I pulled out all this makeup right here in this basket that has kind of like a pastel vibe to it. For some reason, I am feeling a little bit more colorful today. I want to do some really pretty pastel makeup because if I'm going to wear color on my eyes or anything like that, more than likely it is going to be pastel. So if that sounds interesting, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit more. Let's start with primer. So the only primer I had that kind of had a little bit of a pastel vibe is this one right here from Laura Geller. This is the Spackle Skin Perfecting Primer, and this is the hydrating one. It has this really pretty light blue packaging. This to me is more like a extra moisturizer. I don't know if it's really going to like extend the wear time of your makeup, but it just feels really nice on the skin. Like if you have really dry skin, I think that you would love this. So I'm just going to pat that in. I am wearing my sunscreen underneath, my Sun Bomb sunscreen, and I don't really want to disturb that because sometimes I find that when I really rub in these primers, it can mess with that underneath and I don't want that. Okay, and for lip prep, I have this right here from ColourPop. Is this not the cutest little thing? This was from their Rudolph collection, and this was like the Clarice Overnight Lip Mask, but I like to use this as just, and it has like a little stopper here, and then you can see the inside here. I love to use this as like lip prep sometimes, but I thought that light baby blue packaging was so stunning. Now, I like to take the little smaller side of a cuticle pusher instead of putting like my nails in there, and I find that this is the easiest way because I don't use that cuticle pusher for like my actual nails. I use it for my makeup. This is just really nice and hydrating, and I feel like I need to do my lip prep. I like to do all these steps first, and I wanted to make sure I can find products that had that pretty little pastel packaging. I don't believe you can get this anymore, so I am sorry about that, but this video is just really for fun. Just, you know, shop your stash and see what you have if you want to follow along and pick makeup out that's kind of based on a theme, whether it's pastel or even colorful. If you have more colorful products in your collection, this is just for fun. Now, I picked out several eyeshadow palettes. I picked 4 different ones, and what I'm going to do is have a random number generator pick 1 shade from the 3 smaller ones and then 2 shades from the larger palette I have. And these palettes, look how beautiful they are together. Like, they just match each other so beautifully. These are wanting to reflect. So maybe if I hold them further a little back a little bit, they're wanting to reflect and cause my camera to, but these colors, they just match perfectly. So what I have here are the Huda Beauty. These are the little mini pastel palettes. We have the mint, we have the lilac, and then we have the rose. So I'm gonna let a random generator pick 1 shade each from these. Okay, so the pastel palettes, the little small ones, have 9 shades, so let's go ahead. Alright, number 2. So that would be that shade right there. Alright, let's go for that again. 9 shades still. Number 1. So in the mint one, that will be that shade right there. Is that 9? Yes, 9. So in the lilac palette, that will be that shade right there. Okay, so now we have the Natasha Denona Pastel, and that has 15 shades. Number 3, that is that shade right there, Mint Frost. And because this palette is larger, we're picking 2 shades from that. So let's try this again. Number 8, and that would be that shade right there, Starlit. That shade is probably about the only one that doesn't really look that pastel, but we're going to see how this goes. I'm going to swatch these on the back of my hand and show you what we're working with. Okay, here are the shades that it picked out for me. So this is from the Pastels Rose, this is from Pastels Lilac, Pastels Mint, and then these 2 are from Natasha Denona's pastel palette. Okay, I'm going to start with this shade right here in the Lilac palette. This is shade number 9. And I'm going to take that on this little fluffy brush, and look at the handle. This is from the Wet n Wild and Little Twin Stars collection, so you can't get this brush anymore, but just any little fluffy brush will do. You do not have to have the brushes I'm doing. I wanted to pick out some pastel brushes to match the pastel look. And then this shade, I'm going to see how it does when I first apply it like this, and then I might have to go in and kind of stamp it in as well. I don't know exactly what it was that made me want to go in with some pastels today. I guess because it's been really pretty weather here lately and I just wanted to do something kind of fun. Something I haven't really done in a while. I used to wear color a little bit more than I do now, but I still really prefer my neutrals for the most part. But if I'm going to wear some colorful eyeshadow, it's definitely going to be like pastels. Okay, I'm going in with this fluffier brush. This one's from e.l.f. This is their fluffy eye blender brush. I thought here was another one that kind of had that pretty little pastel vibe. I don't believe they still sell this particular color in this brush, but you can get these brushes all the time in their just classic black handle. I just wanted to be fun and pick out the colorful little pastel brushes that I have too. I tried to pick some products today that I haven't used in a while. Now, there are some that, of course, I have because, you know, there might be a particular category that I don't have a lot of makeup in. But some of the others, I tried to pick products that I haven't used in a while. And these little palettes, well, actually, all 4 of these palettes I have not used in a long time. So this is just a cute way to get some use out of these palettes. I'm going to use what you have. I love trying new makeup, but I don't always want to try new makeup. Sometimes I want to, you know, use the products that I do have in my collection because they are just as good too. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this brush right here. This is from Colourspell. I'm trying to get it where it'll focus for me. This brush is from Colourspell Cosmetics. This was sent to me in PR, but you can buy this brand at Dollar General. And I'm going in with that shade Starlet from the Natasha Denona palette. I just needed a little bit smaller of a brush, but I still wanted it to have a little bit of fluffiness to it. Pastels or not, I'm still going to make this as soft as possible. I'm just going to go in on this outer half. I thought this shade would look really beautiful against that purple, and it might not. It might it might clash in a weird way and make it look like I have a bruise and a sore or something. This shade is, to me, is not really pastel. I mean, it kinda is, I guess, but not as much as the other shades. But the random generator picked it out, so we're going to incorporate it in the look. And then I have completely wiped that brush off on like my little silicone mat here in front of me, and I'm just gonna go around the edges of that just a little bit. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, just apply that shade in this outer corner. I cannot tell you the last time I have done a palette bingo. It's been a very long time. I used to do them, well, I'll say fairly often on my channel, but I just kind of quit after I went more neutral. But I think with palettes like this, it's really fun just to do that and then kind of work with what it gives you. I think it kind of helps you be a little more creative. Like maybe there's a color combo that you wouldn't have, you know, come up with on your own. And it's just fun. Okay, and then using that same brush, I'm going in with this shade in the Pastels Rose. This is shade number 2. And I am going to be spraying my brush with some setting spray because I really want that shade to pop because you can see it kind of has that pinky purpleness to it and I really want that to show up. Alright, now let's go here with that shade. Can't go in with my finger at this point because these nails I'm wearing here have quite a bit of length to them. There's just no way. You know, this is really pretty, but I kind of wish I had done these 2 shades on my lower lash line and then for my lid work with more of the mint colors. I mean, it's pretty, but I don't know. I feel like the look would have been more of the pastel because this shade out here kind of throws me off a little bit because it's so red. Okay, we're gonna go in over here with that shade, and I sprayed my brush again. Just wanted that shade to pop because it does have a little bit of that purpley pink kind of sparkle. Okay, so here's what we're working with so far. Okay, I had picked out 2 mascaras because their packaging was kind of both pastel. The first one was this one from Tarte, which has that little lilac-y kind of color in it. That's their Tartelette tubing. And then this one is newer to me. This is from CoverGirl. This is their Eye Enhancer mascara, and this is definitely pastel. So I think I'm going to go with this one now. This mascara, I've only used this one time, and I have 2 cons with it. One, it comes out of this tube goopy. I don't know if the stopper is is broken or if it's just too large of a stopper so it's not catching enough product. And the shade. This is in the shade Berry Brown. On my darker lashes, that color kind of looks like a roach. I wore this past weekend, and while the mascara itself, it didn't smudge, it didn't flake, it was fine, but the shade is weird. Now, I think if you have light colored lashes, it might be different, and that's just a personal thing. I'm sure it's fine, and maybe I'm just being weird about it. Maybe when I use it again today, especially paired up with this kind of tones on my eyes, I think the Berry Brown might look a little bit better with this kind of color eyeshadow, because I was wearing it the other day with nothing on my eyes. That might make a difference, but I just felt like it looked kind of like a roach. But I have a paper towel right here that I am going to kind of wipe off some of the product, because the other day it just come out so gloopy, and I only ever really have that happen with CoverGirl mascara. I know when I had I believe it was the Exhibitionist mascara, it did the same exact thing. It was so gloopy. I don't know if their stoppers are just too large and they're not catching enough product. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there needs to be some improvement there. But other than that, it was an okay mascara, but I wish now I had gotten it in the regular brown. I think this mascara comes in a black, a brown, and then this berry brown shade. Let me see if I can show you. It looks so gloopy. I mean, I don't know if it's going to come off on camera, but in person, it's just covered in mascara. Now, let me see if I can show you this shade. And it might look better today since I am wearing actual like eyeshadow on my eyes, because I was not the other day. So I might completely eat my words, and if I do, then I'm glad. I hope I do. It also might help that the other day I did not wipe it off on a mascara, so it went on fully glooped. So me wiping off some of the product is actually probably going to help it out, because it doesn't look like a bad shade now. Okay, there is one coat of that mascara. I don't know if it really looks like it did the other day, because I did wipe off a lot of the gloopiness. So I don't know if it's really going to come across, but I swear, when it was just up against my bare eyelid, all I could think about is this looks kind of like a roach, like the color of a roach. I didn't make that up, I swear. It looked odd. It really did look odd. Maybe it helps to have some eyeshadow kind of behind it, especially this kind of tone, because I feel like this is the perfect eyeshadow for a look like this, for like more of a berry mascara. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more, but I would like to get the mascara again just in more of their regular brown. There you go, there's two coats. It doesn't look so bad today. I think it looks better. I still think I'd rather have it in just the plain brown, but this will do for now. And I think it looks pretty decent. That kind of berry color up against this color eyeshadow, I think that really does help it. It kind of makes it look more like a brown mascara than that berry kind of color, and it also probably helped that I did wipe off a lot of the excess. It's just a little bit too gloopy, but maybe once it dries out a little bit, it won't be so bad. Also, I feel like they market this mascara as like where you don't have to curl your lashes. Now, I guess I should try it that way, but the thing is, I have to curl my lashes because there is absolutely no natural curl to them at all, and I don't think a mascara would do that for me on its own. Unless it was like a really serious heavy-duty waterproof mascara, then I might can manage, but this mascara is not marketed as a waterproof, so I just don't know about that. Okay, now there's both sides. I feel like it started to clump this side together a little bit. This is one that I want to keep using it because it is a newer mascara to me, but I don't know if it's one. I did say I'd love to try it in the regular brown, but actually I don't know if it is a mascara I would want again. I feel like I've had better, and CoverGirl has better. I love their, what's it called, is it the Lash, is it Cleantopia or Lashtopia? It's in like a mint colored tube. I love that one. That one is good. I don't know about this one. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna keep using it. Let's move on. Back you out a little bit because we're gonna go on to foundation. So the foundation, I already knew exactly which packaging. This is from Tower 28. This is their Sunny Days. What is this? The Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. This one is in shade 10 Larchmont, and I really love this stuff, as you can see. And this pretty little lilac-y packaging is everything. It's hard to actually get product out of it now. Like, I'm really having to squeeze to get that product out of this tube, and I guess it's because of it's getting really low. I can hardly squeeze any of it out. I might have to cut it open. I might have applied too much, but this is like just a tinted little product, so it should be okay. And then I'm going to take my little Real Techniques little double-sided sponge. I think I applied a little too much of this stuff, but honestly, I couldn't hardly get it out of the little tube. It's not wanting to come out. I already have a backup of this product too. It's one that I really do love, and for a while there it was one that I was wearing every single day. And for concealer, I'm going in with the Tower 28. This is their, what are they called? Serum Concealer. Mine is in the shade BH. Of course, we have that pretty little lilac-y top on this as well. It has been a while since I've used this concealer, so that's another reason why I wanted to do this. Just to kind of use some products that I haven't in a while. I'm gonna go in with that sponge again. Just kind of press that in. I can't even remember how I really feel about this concealer. It's been that long, I think, since I've worn it. I know a lot of people really love it. I didn't pick out a corrector today. I feel like I really didn't have a corrector that had that kind of pastel. Of course, well, you know what? I could have used my Clarice one. I could have used one of them because even though the packaging is like clear, you know, glass, the shades kind of look pastel because I have Cool Sunrise, which is like almost like a peachy, and then I have Pale Sun, which is like a really soft pastel yellow, so I could have actually used that, but it's okay. I've used those products a lot lately. Oh, I feel like this is one of those that gives me a little bit too much brightness in that area. So what I'm going to do is add a teeny little dot here and here, just to kind of not have the brightness just in a little semicircle under my eye. I don't want it to look like I've been outside wearing sunglasses. Kind of add a little bit of brightness in here as well. Bring some brightness down so it's not too stark. I'm going in with powder products today, so I'm just going to go ahead and set my face. This is from Kosas. This is their Cloud Set Powder. This one's in the shade Airy. I thought this was just pretty little packaging. Actually kind of gotten my dome down a little bit on this one. And I'm going to take that on my little e.l.f. Their little, is this the Halo Glow Powder Puff or something that they call it? I'm not sure what they call it. I think they make this now in a mini size. I'd like to get the mini size. Just like to tap out any bit I have of concealer, and then I go in with this. I think it's been a while since I've used this powder too. I think this powder works a little bit better with a puff than it does like a brush. Gotta kind of tap around here on like my T-zone area. I know they make this powder in the mini sizes, but I don't think they actually make it in this shade in the mini unless they expanded, because I would love to have it in a mini size because I feel like it's just one of those that you're not really going to fly through it because it is like that baked. It has that dome to it. I feel like that powder kind of got a little heavy right here. That's the only thing about this powder that I do remember is it can get very heavy very quickly. I think it looks better with a sponge when you really press it in, but it can get kind of heavy and cakey looking. At least on me. Okay, before I go in with like my bronzer and blush and all that, I'm going to zoom you back in and I'm going to go ahead and finish up this lower lash line so I can get that done. Okay, I'm going to take this little small brush. This is also from Colourpop. You can see it's like really flat and really small. And I'm going to go in with this shade in the Pastels Mint palette and I'm going to run that on this lower lash line. I don't know if it's really going to show up, but I am going over with the more, I have another mint shade that's kind of more of a sparkly, metallic-y kind of shade, so I am going to go over it with that. Let me try patting this in a little bit. I don't think this shade's really going to show up too much. But if I can at least get the base down, because the shimmery shade I'm going in with is kind of a similar tone. I feel like it's really hard to press a shade on your lower lash line, like when you have to, I know with pastels it's better to press them, but it's kind of hard to do that on my lower lash line. Not as much space. Okay, and then in the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going in with Mint Frost, and I am going to spray my brush. Alright, now let's see how that does. Yeah, there we go. Get more of that color payoff for that mint. Okay, and here is the look all done. Okay, I got bronzer here. This is from Physicians Formula. This is their Butter Buddies bronzer, and this is in Butter Puff. Look at that cute little packaging. Look at that little face. It's so cute. Now, this is a little bit deep for me, so I have to be very careful. And I'm going to take that on another one of these. Look at this brush. I love the way these brushes do. This is also from that Wet n Wild little Twin Stars collection, so you can't get these brushes, but I was just going more along the pastel kind of vibe. But I'm only going to tap into this bronzer a few times. Like I'm just, and then tap some out on the cap and then go in. I want to say I remember this being really dark on me, so I'm just going in with a small amount, and I think, yeah, that looks good. Just a couple of taps into the product and that looks perfect. I don't know about the eye look. You know, someone will have to tell me how they feel about it. This just, I don't know. This was just not really the look I was going for. I had an idea in my head, but I know with palette bingos, it's not going to necessarily work out the way you wanted to. I should have just done the shades I wanted to do. But I mean, hey, I wanted to do something a little more creative because I feel like I don't do that a lot on my channel anymore, simply because I just prefer more of the neutral shades, but it's okay, it's okay. We're just doing something different. That's a pretty bronzer. When I go in really light-handed with it, it's very pretty. It blends out very easily. Now, I didn't pick out a highlighter simply because, well, I had one that could have worked, but highlighter's just not a thing for me. But I went with the theme here with that Physicians Formula. This is their Butter Buddies blush. This one's in Miss Butterfly. This was a really pretty shade. I did have the highlighter in this packaging, but I did declutter that one simply because that was way too dark for my skin. Now, this is another one from Wet n Wild that has this little... Now, I'm not sure what collection this from. It has this pretty little pink, because it just has Wet n Wild, so I'm not sure what exactly, where this come from, but it had like the pretty little pastel. Okay, and I'm just going to dip once into that shade and then apply it, because I remember this being pigmented. Yeah, and I just dipped once. I believe they still sell these, I think, on their website, at least the bronzer, I think. I don't know about the blush, but I think the bronzer might still be available in these. I know they were limited edition. These are very powdery though, like I'm just tapping in once and then I'm really tapping off the excess into that cap. I don't want a lot. I might have to dip a little bit more in that because I don't think I picked up as much as I did on the other side. I want it to match at least. It's a very pretty blush. Now that I've done the rest of my face like that, I'm going to go in with my brows. I'm going to go in with this CoverGirl Clean Brow, this Clean Fresh Brow Filler Pomade Pencil. This one is in the shade dark brown. I love that this had like that really pretty pastel-y pink kind of packaging. I could have also picked the matching brow gel, but I went in with a different one that I have right here, just to kind of switch it up. I'm trying to be soft with this. Sometimes I fail miserably at that. Can be too heavy-handed sometimes with my brows. And then for my brow gel, I have this one from Kosas. This is their Air Brow Gel, which I thought this was just such cute little, kind of like periwinkle kind of color. Fluff up that front part and then just run the rest through. This is just like a little mini size I had. It come with a birthday gift from like Sephora. Oh, and I forgot. I was going to use this too. This is from Wet n Wild. This is from their little Twin Stars collection. This is an eyeliner. This one is in, I don't think it had a shade. Daydreamer, maybe? And it's kind of like in a pink shade, but on me, it looks more of like just like a brightener shade. So I'm going to apply that into my waterline right quick. I saw it in the bottom of my little basket here. I think this collection that they'd had was one of the cutest. I remember buying like the PR box for it. I ended up passing along a lot of the stuff, like the accessories, but now I wish I had kept like the makeup bag and stuff, but I mean, it's not a big deal, but I wish I had. There, that just added just a little subtle brightness there. I don't even know if the camera will pick it up. I can see it in person, but I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. And then we're going to move on to the lips, and then that will be this entire look. Now, I have this one right here. This was from the ColourPop and Rudolph collection. This was Clarice's little lippie pencil. Okay, well, that was kind of a bad swatch because I got to sharpen this, but there you can see that shade. Just kind of like a pretty nude. But this pencil had that pretty little light blue. That's why I picked this one out. This is a pretty color. I wish they'd made this color permanent. It's like the perfect nude for me. And then I feel like the little cap matched the pencil perfectly. This is from Kosas. This is their wet lip oil in the shade Unbuttoned. This was the little mini gloss or lip oil that come with the birthday gift. So it has like a really sweet scent to it. But there we have this finished pastel-y inspired look with all these pretty products with their pastel packaging. The eye look didn't turn out as pastel as I wanted it to, but it's okay. Maybe it'll grow on me the more I wear it all day because I'm going to be wearing these products all day long. But I just want to do something fun. Just kind of do a shop my stash, but do a little bit of a twist. Next time I'll bring you along with me when I'm picking out these products. I realized after I picked them out that I should have filmed that part, but I didn't this time, but I will absolutely do that next time. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you are alerted to all my future uploads. Follow me on Instagram at Jessica Dearly, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!